Why are you out here today?
Well, we're out here today as we're looking to make sure the election gets certified. As citizens, we fought hard for the campaign for to get these votes in, and the candidates that we voted for won the election pretty handily, and we can't see any reason why the election was not certified. So we're down here just to be passive observers and see what happens today. And like I said, we're really hoping that the election gets certified and we can move forward, get back to the business of the people here in Delta County.
Have you heard anything about why the two canvassers voted not to certify in their last meeting?
I did hear some stuff online about that, and from what I can understand, it looks like this is beyond their scope. They're more or less in an administrative position. There's just a couple of things they have to check and process, and for some reason they felt that they didn't like the numbers or whatever. But I'm not sure I understand that. Where they're coming from, because this is what you're looking at is a good old butt whooping, nothing more, nothing less. The people stepped up and they had a chance to voice their opinion, and I think we saw that pretty overwhelmingly, that they did not like the actions and the direction that those particular commissioners were moving in, and they handily decided we're going to move in another direction. And that's it.
If you don't mind me, do you have a political affiliation?
I do not. I don't belong to any political party, and I vote for the best candidate who I think is going to do the best job, period. That's it.
And then Bonnie Hackala, one of the two canvassers that voted not to certify, she's also the head of the county Republican Party. What does that say to you about the state of local politics today?
That's a good question. When I think about it, I have voted, for candidates in, both parties. And I think that you have a separation within the Republican Party itself, where you have like regular Republican folks who want to get the business done, but then you have like an extreme group, the MAGA wing, that is kind of hijacked their party and is pushing the direction of it. And I don't think that's a popular direction with the majority of people, and I think we just saw that. Those ideologies, are not shared by the majority of people here. I don't think the Republicans and Democrats, that aren't on either end extreme are pretty similar, and they want the same things, and I'd like to see, us work together for the betterment of our community, because that's what this is about. It isn't about, people personally. And, what we saw in some of the commissioners was there did appear to be some bias and some stuff that wasn't, I'm just going to say, a county business. And that's what we need to get back to and just concentrate on that, the business of the people, period. So yeah, I'd like to, see the Republicans and Democrats work together, for the general good. I mean, that's the way it is. You have the election, you move on, and it isn't that difficult.
And in a press release online that seems to be linked to Bonnie and the local Republican Party, they seem to affiliate themselves with some larger 2020 election fraud theory groups. Do you have any general opinions about that and whether or not that's happening in the county?
It sure appeared to be that way, because I saw online there was this group invited, and if you look back, they're associated with the whole Mike Lindell fiasco with the cyber ninjas. And if I'm not mistaken, that data they were looking at back then wasn't even, the election data. Stuff they shouldn't have had access to in the first place, but, it was all a big nothing burger bust. And, we had our local elections official, who's in charge, Nancy, get up and reiterate that our voting machines are not hooked to the internet, that there is no fraud with these machines, that our elections are clean, and that went against some of the folks you had mentioned had gotten up at the meetings and spoke on that. So it was good that Nancy was able to get up and reiterate that, hey, our elections are solid, that this is basically BS, at the end of the day, and to bring these groups in, and that is not helpful. They shouldn't have access to the voting machines. That's very restricted stuff. If anybody paid attention to Fox News and all the Dominion stuff, that should have cleared this up, a long time ago. And this is just propaganda pushing, a false narrative, and it's sowing doubt into our elections, and that's not healthy for the American system. We need to get back to, trusting in our neighbors and relatives and people that conduct these types of events, and they're fairly open, and you can look at, they've talked at length about the transparency in the elections, how to verify this stuff, and so there's really no reason for this. It's just, like I said, I guess they just didn't like the results of the election. That's what it boils down to.
And, yes, that kind of blends into my next question. It sounds like you don't think they have a genuine concern.
You know, they may have a concern, but I don't think it's a valid concern. I mean, you've got election officials that, you know, pay attention to everything that happens during the election. I have seen no issues. There's just really no reason for them to be in here other than they're pushing a false narrative, you know, for some reason. And like I said, I have no doubt that the election was carried out as honorably, and we just don't have these issues. You know, it's not. I just don't understand where they're coming from. You know, why they keep pushing this stuff. There's no evidence. There's, you know, they say one thing in the media, but when you get into court, you know, just nothing happening. They're not saying anything. They're losing every case. You know, I mean, in the last election, they had all those, I don't know, 60-some court cases, and the only case that they won was so they could move a couple of observers closer during some tabulating. That was it. So they haven't proven anything. So I have no reason to believe that any of that is legit.
Anything else associated with all this? I feel like we covered.
Hey, I'd just like to say thanks to all the people in Delta County that came out and voted and made a difference, and all the people, the candidates that ran, and everybody who supported them. You know, thank you. You know, and everybody who came to the meetings and spoke. You know, hey, we're going to get back to some normal. Thank you so much, everybody, for helping out.
Gotcha. Yeah, thank you. I
Hey,
appreciate
anytime.
it.
Appreciate it.